There we go, and we're live. Hi, I'm Bradley Chapman, and good afternoon. It's Saturday, the 16th of September. It's 3 p.m. UK Greenwich Mean Time +1, and today we're going to be talking about sales and selling, how to grow a sales team or learn to sell yourself. So as we're going live, I'm just going to invite in a few friends to increase the audience. Just bear with me for 1 second. Just going to invite in a few people. Just give me one second. We're just going to invite in a few different people. If you're just joining, just bear with me. I'm just inviting in a few friends to join the audience. So just bear with me 1 second. There's a few people online already. If you're already online, then please do introduce yourself into the broadcast. Let's find out who you are. Just inviting a few people in, so bear with me for 1 second. Bear with me while we just invite a few people in. There we go. So we're up and running. So hi, Jolie. Jolie has joined. Umar Hussain has joined, and Joe Fitzgerald is online as well. So as always, good afternoon, everybody. As always, during these lives, as we're talking, we normally run for between 30 and 45 minutes. I appreciate that many of you have got busy days. So you may not be able to listen to everything today. You may want to hop off and listen to a replay. But if you're listening now and joining, then obviously thank you very much indeed. Now, what we always say before we start today is about sales and selling. It's about growing a sales team, and it's about learning to sell yourself. I'm going to break down some of the myths in selling, because so many of us are afraid to ask a business. We're afraid to sell, or we're looking to build a sales team. So what I'm going to want to understand during the broadcast, I'll be asking you some questions. As always, get involved, feel really comfortable, feel really relaxed. Relax any inhibitions you've got about yourself and your business, and we try to break down the barriers in order for me to help you grow your business. And today it's about selling. It's a really, really important one. Hi there, William Figueroa. Is that the best way to say it? Figueroa, thanks for joining. So please do introduce yourself. Always get engaged, first of all, and comment. The broadcasts are open. It's about you. It's about your business. It's about your career. It's about us helping you, or me helping you to move yourself forward in terms of sales. So if you're just joining, please make a comment in the thread. Introduce yourself. Say, my name is William. This is what I do for a living, and this is the country I'm coming from. Umar's joined us. Umar's from the UK. He owns a company called Happy Cabs based in Essex. So please do absolutely introduce yourself. Joe Fitzgerald has just said, hi there, Joe. Let's find out what business you do, what you're looking to achieve today. We're talking about sales. We want to get the conversation moving. We're going to be talking about sales. I'm going to give you as much sales tips and advice I can in the next 30 minutes about growing your business, growing your sales teams. And as many of you may know, I've worked in sales for the best part of my life. I've worked for Fortune 500 companies, with business startups. I've worked with organizations that are experiencing really, high-speed growth and development. I'm a sales trainer, sales coach. I love selling, but I haven't really come on my Facebook Lives and spoken about sales and selling. Today is that day. Today we're going to be talking about sales. We're going to be talking about selling, and we're going to get down to the real nitty-gritties of what's inside us that holds us back from being able to sell. So Mary McLean's just joined us. Mary, thanks for joining. Please do introduce yourself. Let's post a comment. Just engage the audience. Post your web links up on the live. Make sure we know who you are, what country you're coming from. So look, let's crack away and let's get into sales. Oh, and by the way, please do like and share the broadcast or the post as usual, asking you to help me as well as me helping you. And if you've got friends that you think can benefit from any of the lives, obviously turn on your notifications so you know when I go live. And also, if you want to share it with someone that's a family member or a friend could benefit from sales and selling, then of course, absolutely fire away. Michelle's just come online. She's saying, I'm here but busy, bear with me. Hi Michelle, how you doing? Michelle's from the UK. Right, so let's get into it. Sales and selling. I'm going to be looking at my right hand column while I'm talking to you guys as well, as we're talking about sales and selling. So look, sales and selling, it's a very, very important thing, isn't it, for us to be able to sell ourselves. It's very, very important. And what happens normally is that we don't always feel comfortable selling. We don't always feel comfortable, and it's not natural to some people. Mary McLean, thank you for joining. Introduce yourself in the post, and let's find out where you guys are from. Selling is, for some people, a very, very difficult thing, because asking for the business or asking for somebody to buy your products or services, sometimes we can have an inhibition inside that we're coming across as salesy. Now, I've worked in direct sales for some of the most cutthroat organizations where they go out, they're commission only, and they're closing deals in houses like the double glazing thing. I've also worked for companies like Office Depot, Fortune 500 companies, and I've trained in key account management and account management, sales managers, sales directors. There's a different process for every single person. So we're going to have an open-hearted conversation about sales, an open-hearted conversation about how you feel about sales, and also please do ask any questions that you've got of me as we go through the live broadcast. And if you're watching back on a replay, just add a question into the thread and I'll be more than pleased to help you. And we're going to be talking about do you need a sales team? We're going to be talking about how do you recruit and train and retain a sales team. We're going to be talking about the culture required to inspire and motivate your team, and how do you coach them to success. So during the next 30 minutes or so, I'm going to give you a blast, a short condensed version into how you can do that. Now, if you're looking to sell yourself and you're working on your own from home, then just say, Brad, I work alone and I want to increase my sales. Then let me know that I can help you. The more that I know about you, the more that I know about your situation, the greater I can help you, whether it's on the call or after the call in a private conversation. So don't feel embarrassed. Just relax. Tell me exactly where you are in your business. The more direct you are with me, the more I can hone and point this broadcast to help you grow your business. So we're talking about sales. So the first question I want to ask you guys is, how do you feel about selling? How do you feel about sales and selling? Is it something that you're comfortable with? Is it something that it doesn't resonate with you, that you feel awkward in selling, or are you a sales natural? So please do put a pin in the comments and let's understand where you're at and what your thoughts are on sales, so I know. Do you need a sales team? That's the first question, really. Do you need a sales team? If you don't need a sales team at the moment and you're just selling yourself, then we can go into that. But if you did need a sales team, what would you do? How would you recruit them? How would you train them? How would you motivate and inspire them? How would you get them to believe in you and your product and your service offering in order for them to move forward and become successful? One of the biggest challenges that many people make when they start out in business is when they look to start a sales team, they start to recruit and bring on salespeople. And if they, as a business owner, or they as a manager, are not sales orientated, or they're not sales based, or they don't have that inspiration and motivation, or they cannot connect with their sales team, then ultimately the sales team could fail. It may not achieve success. So the first tip is, do you need a sales team? And if you do need a sales team, how would you start to build them? So let's take it from baby sales. Joe Fitzgerald said, I'm in the UK. I'd never sold before, just starting my business. Hey, congratulations, Joe. Fantastic. We'll be selling my books and eventually online courses. I won't have a team. Feel weird about telling people about things that they can buy from me. I'll be using social media to promote my products. All right, Joe, let's hone in on that then. So you've put yourself across and you put yourself out there and just saying, this is me. I'm starting my new business, and absolute kudos to you, by the way, Joe. Absolute kudos, because it really takes courage to say, this is who I am, this is where I am currently in my business, and this is the help potentially I'm looking for. So I'm going to now focus in on you, Joe. So you've never sold before and you're just starting your business, okay? So do you need a sales team? The answer to you right now is no, of course you don't need a sales team. So I'm now going to blitz and give you 5 minutes, Joe, to help you sell your books and help you to sell online courses. Would that be of benefit to you if I do that, if I give you a 5-minute blitz to help you? Okay, so the first thing is this. You've got to build your foundation on your social media platform, okay? Now, this is going to be quite rapid fire today because it's sales, okay? So you've got to build your social media platform. Now, you will have a personal timeline page and you're probably creating a business page. You need to be an absolute ferret now across social media. Don't harangue people, but start making sure that you're adding appropriate friends, that you're engaging in comment threads, that you're adding comments into threads across Facebook for people that can be that can help you with your business. These are people that would be people that have got a fairly high profile, people like me. You know, tag yourself on some of my posts, tag yourself in, get yourself in there, make some comments. Once you start making comments, Joe, you're going to start making a name for yourself. Do exactly the same thing on Facebook and LinkedIn and Instagram and Twitter. On LinkedIn, for example, is a fantastic business platform. If you don't use LinkedIn at the moment, I suggest absolutely you use LinkedIn. On your LinkedIn profile, you'll be able to create a post, you'll be able to create articles, and you'll start to build your credibility, start to connect and reach out to people that you wouldn't normally think you're going to connect with. Ask to connect with them. They'll start connecting back. Do exactly the same on Facebook. People who can really pivot and help you move your business forward, that you'll need to connect with, that will help you to build your brand and your presence. And you've got to keep doing that. And it's how you found me. Well done, Joe. And you're doing that. You must absolutely keep doing that. Now, is your book published, Joe, or is your book about to be published? Okay, let me understand that. If you're afraid of offering your services, you must use LinkedIn, Joe. It's very, very important. So LinkedIn, on my LinkedIn last week, I did a post about remembering who you are in business and looking back to the person you were when you first started, and don't forget that person. I put an image up. I used Snapseed to put up a few images, a few words on a text overlay, and I posted it with a little bit of information in a text. It had nearly 1,000 views, and from that 1,000 views, it brought a load of people to me that started to connect with me. So you must consider LinkedIn within your platforms. Facebook is absolutely awesome, and if you want to start selling online courses, there's a number of things you can do to raise your profile. One, look up expertise.tv. Look up that. Look up Zoom, because you can also broadcast live on Facebook with Zoom. Zoom allows you to go live on Facebook and you can share your screen. I'm going to be doing that from Monday on my Bradley Chapman Global Coach public page. So use Zoom. Look at Expertise TV. Also, if you're going to broadcast live on Facebook to start getting yourself out there, to feel comfortable with who you are and start offering your services. We don't actually sell anything. We don't sell anything. We solve our customers' problems. That's what we do. Now, if you've not got a sales team and you're working yourself, think about, hi there, for Sherry's just joined us from India. Sherry's just published a book. He's a very, very busy guy right now. He's promoting his services throughout Amazon, throughout Motivational Sparkles. He's getting great traction within his energy that he's creating. He's now starting to reap the rewards. Let's think about your social media as a way to sell. There's loads of ways that you can sell, okay, on social media. Now, I'm not a massive fan, and this is no disrespect to everybody that's out there at the moment that's queuing up the sign up here and the sign up here and the free webinar here, and get this now, and follow these steps and download this. I'm really trying everything within my power to absolutely avoid going down that sort of automated route. I know it may be something I've got to do, but I'm hanging on to not go down that route. Why? Because if I can broadcast live and talk to people, if I can connect with people, if you can connect with people, then you'll naturally draw them into your business. I've got no doubt we're going to have to use, sign-ups to gain an email list. But for me personally, when you're building your brand, when you're building your energy and you're looking to sell your products, you want to be able to become the expert in your field. When you become the expert in your field, people will naturally gravitate to you. And that's going to become an inbound warm inquiry, as opposed to what we call a cold inquiry and picking up the phone. So, Joe, please do as much as you can on the lives, as much as you can on your broadcast, tag people in, ask people to help you. And with regards to your courses, building your courses, look at expertise.tv. It's something really fantastic, and it's something that could really benefit you. I'm looking at it at the moment myself to use for webinars and for coaching programs that can help you attain a fee for your coaching program. Something else, if you're a business coach as well, is you normally want to add some kind of speaking engagement to it. So I did this week as well, and I've spoken on stage at the British Library, at business startup shows, and I've spoken with some really fantastic people, but it was a few years ago, and I'm now just getting back into the public speaking, going on stage and speaking to people. So I created a speaker bio. So Joe, to help you with your sales side of the thing, maybe consider doing a speaker bio. I'll put the link up to my speaker bio in the thread so you can see that. And listen, it needs to be worked on, it needs to be improved, but I'll share the link with you now, because your speaker bio will help you again with your speaking engagements. Let me just find the link for you, and I'll post that for you right now. Just give me 1 second. So add a speaker bio. There you go. I'm putting that into the thread now. There you go. And you can look at that. That's Bradley's speaker bio. Now, we're talking about sales today, and normally I don't really talk about myself and what I'm doing. It's all about you. But selling, you must not be afraid to say who you are and what skills you've got. So I'm just putting up the speaker bio there. Hold on 1 second. Bradley's speaker's bio. Let's get that right. There you go. So I put in the threads. What I've done is I've created a speaker bio to help me move my sales position forward. What I want to do now is I want to more. It's okay, Joe. It's a pleasure. Lee Herring has just joined us as well. Hi, Lee. Thanks for dropping in. Thanks for joining. Please do, as always, everybody, engage in the comments. Get your business details in there. We're talking about sales today, so I want you to sell your services. I want you not to be embarrassed to sell your services. I want to get a raft of threads going of what you can sell. Umar, what's happening in the taxi world this week? What offers, what discounts you got on? How are you selling and motivating your customers to buy your product? We are solving people's problems, so I want you to sell today. Sell to me. Sell your services. I want you not to be afraid about selling. I want you not to be afraid, and I want you to let all the barriers down today, and I now want you to sell me your services. So, Bradley, this is what I do, and I'd like you to go to this website. This is how we help our customers. I help my customers and clients by solving their problems, whether their staff are not engaging and they need to go in to get a motivation speech to bring them together, i.e. team building. And the result of team building is that their energy is increased, their work rate is increased, their work productivity is increased, and ultimately it brings the company a greater level of profitability. Sales training, for example, they say to me, Bradley, I've got a sales team. The sales team's not performing. It's not performing to target. I said, well, how long have they been behind target? They've been behind target for 3 months. How far off target now? Bradley, they're 35% off target. What can you do? I will help you to get your team back on target and exceed target. How do you do that? Let's talk about what we're online to talk about today. Let's talk now about how you build a sales team. Let's get into that. So get the comments going. Get going. Let's sell your product. Let's start selling. Let's start having a stab at selling. Don't be afraid. We all have to sell something in order to survive, because you can be the best business person in the world, but if you're not selling your products and services, you're not going to grow. You're not going to deliver revenue. So let's get into that. Do you need a sales team? Larry S. Cockerell's joined us. Hi, Larry. Thanks for joining in. I really, really appreciate that. Thank you for joining. Larry, where are you from? What do you do? Let's get the threads going, guys, and let's see exactly what you're selling and what you're offering. Go for it. This is your chance to sell. So do you need a sales team? There's going to come a point where you're going to grow. There's going to come a point where your business is going to reach a point where you can't handle it anymore. If you've not got a cup of coffee, get yourself a little cup of coffee while you're listening. Excuse me. So do you need a sales team? Let's say, for example, you're working on your own, you're working at your office, your business is now ready to move forward to your first sales team. What do? You're going to go into an expenditure where you're going to be potentially investing into someone for a new sales team, and that cost could either be an apprentice startup, which is in the UK about £300 to £400 per week, or you're going to be taking on a sales professional, which could cost you something like 18, 19 or 20,000, 22,000 basic plus a commission override. So when you first take that person on, and if you do need a sales team, it means you've reached a point in your business where you can afford to take a salesperson on, because you're losing revenue by not having that salesperson in your business to work on you and help you to grow your company. So you're looking to take your first salesperson on board, and I've worked with teams of 400 plus people. So I understand what it's like to recruit a salesperson. I also understand what it's like to recruit the right salesperson. Now, if you're not sales-based and you're not a sales manager by trade, and you don't know how to recruit, train and retain staff to grow a sales team, then of course you're going to need to make sure that the first person you bring in has got sales management qualities. They've got the inspiration, they've got the drive, they've got the connectivity, they understand that selling with purpose and passion now in this environment, in this untrusting world, in the skeptical world, is more important now than ever. So the first person you take on board, if you've got sales skills, only needs to be a salesperson. If you've got great sales management skills and you're a great people person, then just take on a new sales executive, and you can coach and you can train them by putting a training program together. Talking more about training programs at a later date. That's what we do. That's what I do. I put training programs together to make people go through a process of engagement, understanding and learning so they can sell your product. You can recruit and go to many free places in the UK. There's lots of different websites you can go to where you can place your adverts free. Reed is one of them. In the US, I'm not quite sure what free resources you've got over there, but you absolutely will have them there. Or you could use a recruitment agent. If you're going to use a recruitment agent, trust me, some of the fees that recruitment agents charge, you can get a deal for about 10% of the annual wage as a deal to get you going. So, for example, if you've got a salary that's £22,000 per year, You could do a deal with for 7, 8, or 9% with a recruitment company rather than paying their full fees. Full fees you can negotiate, or go down the route of using Reed, or use the government's recruitment website, which you'll find under the DWP. It's called Universal Job Match. You can advertise on there free to get your first salesperson in. So now you're looking to build your sales team. You're looking to grow a team of individuals. You think to yourself that the product's great. Now you've got to get it right. You've got to make sure that when you recruit, the whole process, when you're going through the recruitment process, is that you understand what questions you want to ask the person that's coming in. Of course, you want them to have a really fantastic sales background, don't you? Because if they haven't got a fantastic sales background, they could fall flat on their face. So you're looking for someone who's a self-starter, someone who's motivated, someone who's got existing sales skills, that understands and likes your company, you and your product. When you take them on and you interview them, I can teach you and show you how to make the best interview and how to get the best out of a person, so you don't make a mistake with your first person that you're recruiting. Because if you do, then of course you're going to get yourself in a position where you've got a sales rep which is not making you money, is losing you money. Now let's just say you're paying a 20,000 basic here in the UK. Take on top of that your national insurance and employers NI. You can add to that another 13%. So if you've got a 20,000 basic salary, it's going to cost you about 23 or 24k annually, without your phone costs, without the expenses of having a member of staff on board. So let's put it at 26, 27,000. So you want to make sure that they're clearing something like at least £2,000 in profit a month just to cover their costs. So you've got to think about your forecasting, which we'll come on to. If you get the right salesperson, and by the way, if you're just joining, thank you, but start to post in the thread. What is it you sell? What do you do? Put an offering up in the thread. We're talking about selling today. So this is not about your mindset. This is not about your focus. This is not about the raw inside of public speaking. This is about sales. I want you to sell in this thread. I want you to try and sell, because we can change and adapt the way that you're delivering your message. Now, post in the thread your website link, any offers you've got. Robert J. Moore has just joined us from Canada. Robert J. Moore runs a fantastic business called The Better Way. Robert, let's put up an offer in the thread. Let's see exactly what we've got. Let's see what's going on. Kevin Turton is from the UK. He's a dress specialist, and he look at appearance of individuals and how they look. He can transform anybody into the most beautiful, fantastic, smart creature to suit their business. Kevin, what offers have you got? Let's start selling. Let's start selling today, because this is what this thread is about today. This is what this discussion about. It's no holds barred. Put your information across, put your sales across, put your links across. But remember this, you are solving your customers' problems. If you're online, you've already got a sales team, you're looking to bring a sales team forward, then let me know so I can hone this broadcast to help you with that process. So now, what else are we going to talk about? Do you need a sales team? We've worked that out. If you want to take your first person on board, we've already discussed that. You need to make the right choice. If you're not good at interviewing a salesperson, then bring somebody in you know to help you with that interview process. If it's your first sales member, you've got to get it right. Let's go to the next one and look at how do we recruit, train and retain a sales team. Well, the first thing you're going to need is, of course, a system in place for them, a desk for them where they're going to sit. They've got to understand that they're going to be coming into a business that you, as the business owner, have vision for your company and where are you going. So if you want to attract somebody to come and work into your business and you want the very, very best salesperson, and let me just give you a piece of advice. I interviewed David Gold at his home a few years ago, who owns West Ham United and Summers, etc. The most amazing man. And he said to me, Bradley, whatever you do when you're recruiting, always go for the best person that you possibly cannot afford, that you cannot afford. And I'll tell you why, Bradley, because that person can either make or break your business. You're far better to recruit someone that you can't afford and offer them a small percentage of shares if they're the right person, than go with someone on a smaller wage that doesn't have the skill, the knowledge and the ability to become a self-starter within your business. Give them something that they'll want to stay in your business. Give them something that will energize them. Give them something where they know they can earn their money, because salespeople, what they think about is sales. They think about closing the deal. They think about getting the orders in. They think about securing business. And it's okay to talk about sales, ladies and gentlemen. Today, we are talking about sales. If we don't get sales into our business, what happens? What happens to your mindset as a director or an owner of a business? Come on, let's be honest. Let's be honest. Put it in the thread. How do you feel when sales don't come in? When sales aren't continuous? When your sales are going up and down like this, where it's sporadic, where your sales aren't generating on a monthly basis, where you can start to forecast and move your business forward? How do you feel? Come on, let's get it out there. You feel really, really poor. Tim Burt has joined us. Tim Burt is a former CBS radio executive, owns Tim Burt Media. He's in Missouri in the United States. Tim, thanks for joining us. Tim, put up something that helps for someone to buy your services. Put an offer up, Tim. Go for it. Let's put it into the thread. Let's talk about how do you recruit, train, and retain your sales team. Recruiting is an art, spotting somebody. As I said, David Gold said to me, Bradley, take on somebody that you cannot afford. It will be the best decision you make. If you take on people that haven't got the skill and the knowledge and attitude in your business, especially if they're the first member of staff, you'll end up losing money. So if you want your sales to grow, one, get the right person. Two, make sure that when you take that person on board, perhaps they've got something lucrative for them. Salespeople love to have commission. They love to have commission. They work on commission. It's how they work. But they will solve your customers' problems. You won't be selling. We'll be solving our customers' problems and getting the right salesperson, the right account manager, account executive, whatever you want to call it. They have to be a really decent person inside. The days of selling, cheese selling and a double glazing selling all over the world has finished. In my humble opinion, it's finished. A company recently, that was a very, very big company. I've watched their shares on the stock market. I'm not going to mention their name. They floated about 2 or 3 years ago, and I've watched their shares go like this and like this and like this. And I actually contacted the chairman of the company saying, I want to help you. I want to change and help you change the process that the business is going through, because I can just see that it's going to die. Direct sales is died now. The hard sell, it's gone. I've worked in that environment. I've worked for companies in double glazing and solar panels and kitchens. I've done that, but it's too hard. People want trust. They want empathy. They want someone to come into their house that they're going to trust and say, yes, I'd like to buy from you. I trust you. So we've got to make sure we recruit the right person. Training them is vital. Tim Burt's saying there's a reason most are called pushy salespeople. There is a reason. I've experienced that. I've trained a team of nearly 350 people in that sector, and they are pushy as heck. And they were self-employed, so if they didn't get a deal, they didn't get paid. And actually, what that does is it cultivates a really bad environment where people will say and do anything to sell your product that probably isn't real to your product. So by getting the right person, the right team is vitally important. Recruiting, training, and retaining the sales team. That's what I do. I've done that all my life, working in companies from a sale basis. So let me sell that to you. Excuse me for a moment. I have an inert skill to be able to work with people, to coach them and train them, inspire them so they become something better than they are today. And I absolutely love it because I love connecting with people, especially salespeople, because I know what it takes to sell. I know how tough it is for these people to go out day in and day out. And it's very easy to criticize a sales team. Oh, you know, they're a sales team. They're trying to sell me something. A salesman actually has got so much courage and so many balls because he takes a lower salary and he makes his money by earning commission. And if he doesn't sell, he earns no commission. But the way that they sell, the way that we retain them, the way that we train them as a sales team is absolutely vital. Tim saying, don't push, pull your prospects to you. Absolutely true. Reverse psychology is where you say to somebody, listen, you're online today, you're watching this broadcast, we're talking about sales. There is nothing that you're going to be able to buy today on this broadcast. And that's the truth. There isn't. There is nothing you can buy today from this broadcast. If you said to me, Bradley, I want to sign up for your sales training package. I've seen it on your website. It's $15,000 and you work for a month in a company and you can increase sales by 50, 100, 150%. I want to buy your services. I'd say to you, no, I'm sorry. You can't buy my services today. Go and have a look and have a think about it. I need to talk to you further about your business, but you're not going to be able to buy anything today. I promise you. There is no sign-in today. There's no sign-up. There's no call to action off the back of this live broadcast. It's just to help you feel comfortable with sales. Recruiting and training a sales team is vital. Has anyone online experienced growing large sales teams? Am I alone here? Is anyone else online with me that's experienced that? Is anyone experiencing pain in themselves where they cannot get the continual growth within the sales of their own business? If you're working at home and you're struggling to increase and get your sales to the level you want, and I do at times, as consultants, our sales are like peaks and troughs, right? And I can admit to that. It's like peaks and troughs, because one minute you've got 7 orders and 7 clients signing up, and you don't know how you're going to fit it all into the day and into your month, and you don't know how you're going to do it all, which is exhilarating. And you're like, oh my God, I'm booked out for the next 3 weeks. I've got speaking engagements here. I've got a contract next month. And there's other times you think, oh my gosh, I've got nothing booked in for November. Oh my gosh, I need to start thinking about November. And if you start panicking about what's coming in, your work rate and your effectivity starts to go down. So when you're training your sales team, you have to understand that there's an emotional aspect to selling. The emotional aspect to selling is this, that we want to get a sale. The longer you go without getting a sale, or an individual goes without getting a sale, or a sales team goes without getting a sale, the more harm that the psychological aspect in the salesperson's mind is going to be. Now, you may be able to relate to this at home, that if you haven't got a sale in this week, if you've not signed up a client this week, or you've not got yourself out there this week, what do? How do you coach that? How do you train that team? And if you're the owner of the company and you're not getting sales in, you're not making money. So all of a sudden you're thinking, oh my gosh, I've got all these costs. I've got all the expenses. How do I pull this sales team in? And if you show fear, because, you know, bees and dogs can smell fear. And if you're a sales manager where you can't stay calm and rise above any adversity that you're experiencing in sales or a sales glitch, your sales team will see straight through that. They'll see straight through it. They will. So you've got to calm yourself. And to train this team to go out and to get business, you've got to calm yourself. You've got to sink back into your seat. And you've got to say to yourself, how am I going to move this team forward? How am I going to move myself forward? So let's get ourselves in that zone from a training point of view, how to train a team. You're a salesperson, or you're a person at home. You're not getting business in, and you're saying to yourself, oh my gosh, I've got no business coming in. What am I going to do? I've got no revenue coming in. I'm going to pay my bill. Stop right there. Turn that emotion that's in a negative into a positive and say, how will we go and get it? What do we need to do to achieve our target? When are we going to do it? And why are we going to do it? Change everything around and then start to look at adjusting and changing, because in sales and sales management, the same as it is for you guys sitting at home, it's just like spinning plates. And what you do is you're trying to get everything lined up so that it works. Your social media, your Facebook lives, your outbound contacts, the amount of phone calls you make and new connections. Oh, and by the way, most people that are working from home, they're so afraid to pick up the phone and call someone and say, hello, my name's Bradley Chapman and I'm a business coach. Can I send you something across that might be of interest to your boss? What's his name, by the way? Oh, we don't give names across the phone. That's no problem at all. Who shall I send it to? Great, no problem. What's his position? What's the position of the guy? Yeah, he's the head of sales. Then what I do is I go onto LinkedIn, I find out the head of sales and search LinkedIn and connect with him directly via LinkedIn. A gatekeeper cannot stop you. If you are persistent and you teach your team to be persistent and to be thinking about a way round a problem rather than thinking, oh, I've got a problem, man, I'm not going to survive. Think about the problem. Think about how to train and teach somebody to overcome that problem. Pick up the phone. Don't be afraid. Talk to people. Get your word out there. If it's a sales team, just bring them together and have a power hour on the phone where you're making a number of calls, talking to new prospects, because a sales glitch or a sales glump is only a sales glump as long as you believe it is. It's only a sales glump as long as you believe that the sales aren't going to grow. When you train salespeople, you must fill them with inspiration, with courage. You must also show them yourself that you're not afraid to do it. I can remember so many times where I've gone into companies where they said, Brad, you know, I want to start a new, I've just pulled my phone out, I'm going to plug that back in. Brad, you know, we've got a new sales team. We want to build a new sales team. We want you to come in. We've got 3 people that work for us. We want to take on another 5 people, but our sales manager isn't up to it. Our sales are behind. What can you do? We've got a brilliant product. We've got a brilliant service, but we really want to grow a team. So I'll go into the company and I'll say, what are your biggest problems? What are your biggest challenges? I'll speak to them. There we go. Robert's off and running. Robert Moore's off. He's off and running. He's not afraid to talk about sales. Let's hone in. Robert J. Moore. This month only, I'm having a special for those interested in the better way. Instead of paying the regular price, the regular rate, you'll get 50% off either package, e.g. 24997, or you'll get 50% off at 2498. So that's 50% off, no tax, and you can get my $2,500 program for only $1,248. There you go. Robert J. Moore is off. He's saying the better way, a 21-day transformational program that's been created to guide you towards mastery of your emotions, behaviors, and outcomes. Bang. There you go. You're on it. Fantastic, Robert. You're away. We're not going to be afraid of selling today. This is a sales-generated broadcast. So everybody do exactly what Robert's done. Robert's just put an offer up, and he's also stated exactly why it can help you. He's put a bit of background information in there about why his emotional transformation program can help you. Do not be afraid to sell your services. Don't be afraid to get your message out there, because if you are, then your sales team's going to be afraid. So you can't have any fears. Post some links up in this broadcast. Sell yourself, sell your products, and sell your services. It's only by doing so are you going to hone your skill and your confidence that it's okay to sell yourself. It is, because if we don't, we're not going to grow. When you're training a sales team, trust me, I've done it for over 30 years in the UK and around the world. The emotions that run through the team, they want to see clear leadership. They want to be a part of something that's really real. They want to be a part of something now more than ever that's purpose-led, that's passionate, that they share your visions and your goals. They want to be a part of something that they can belong to, that means something to them, that feels real, that's going to change people's lives, that they believe in your product and your service. And trust me, when that happens, and if you believe in yourself, miracles just start to happen around you, and people will be attracted to you. But training a sales team is important. You must have a training program. I create PowerPoint presentations, a step-by-step process of what the induction is, and I take them through the psychology of selling, the understanding psychology of selling, and then I focus in on the product or service and show them how to deliver that, whether that be via a telesales team, whether that be via a key account management team, major accounts, national accounts, a field sales team, door canvassing team, whatever it is. I hone that training script to suit that team, and then we motivate them. Then I go with them and I help them, either knocking doors or picking up the phone with them, or showing them how to create a successful prospect list, how to contact people, how to connect out with people without ramming things down their throat, how to build a relationship with somebody first so they're happy to speak to you. Robert's also put a link up to his Facebook page, The Better Way. Absolutely, Robert, beautiful. Mark Palmer's just joined us. Hi, Mark. How you doing, brother? Raj Paran's just joined us. So is Nikki Peters. Nikki, get something posted up that means what you're selling. Sell something today. We're talking about sales. Don't be afraid to sell. Get it out of your system. We have to sell. It's only by you getting it out of your system, first of all, can we then start to learn to hone our skills. It's okay to say, these are my services. This is what I do. This is how I help people. This is how I can solve your problems. I'd love to help you. This is the cost of what I do. Believe in yourself. Believe in what you do. Believe in what you stand for. You all are potentially experts in your field. And if you're not, you're moving towards making yourself an expert. And it's okay to say, I want to sell myself and my products. Do it. Do it now. Put a link in. Hey, Dinesh Rayo's just joined us. Dinesh has come online. Dinesh is a dentist from Australia. Is it Australia or Canada? I keep forgetting Dinesh. Dinesh is talking about putting a smile on people's faces and becoming a public speaker. Dinesh, sell yourself. Sell yourself. Be so proud of it. Mark Palmer's joined us. Mark Palmer has got a roofing and loft conversion business, and he works in and around the Essex area. So if you're looking for a loft conversion, and I can tell you personally, this guy's work is amazing. I've seen his work and I've seen the referrals that he gets from his customers. You're looking for a loft conversion, you're in East London or Essex, then connect up with Mark Palmer. He's got a fantastic business. And I tell you, when he goes to work, the way that he works, the way that he looks after his clients, the way that he treats their homes is exemplary. Mark, sell yourself and your services. Dinesh, please do. Australia. My apologies, Dinesh. I thought it was Australia. Dinesh is the dentist. Now let's move on to the culture required to inspire and motivate your team. This is a really important one, isn't it? Do you understand how important it is? Now I'm going to tell you a story. I work for a company called Office Depot. In London. It's an American-owned company, Fortune 500 company. And I came in as a regional manager. It was a short-term gig, about 6 months, and my remit was to turn this team into a top-performing team. And I had a thing called the Chairman Circle in America. So we got pretty much to second place. I didn't get top place on this one, but I got to second place. We would not have beaten the top team because the margins they got, they were working in City and London. We just couldn't achieve it. I suppose we could have done, never say never, but we came in second, and one or two of my guys went off to America for the Chairman Circle, and it was awesome to see them, you know, get involved in that. When you're motivating and you're inspiring your team, one, you want them to be very, very controlled in what they do. Two, you want to make sure that they are staying within the boundaries of the service and the product that you offer. Don't let a rogue salesman come in. I've experienced that myself. I've worked for a company that grew a team to 400 staff, and some of the salesmen were saying and doing things that were absolutely untrue about the product. It will only come back on you and reflect badly on you if you let that happen. So you must control it. You must make sure you inspire them. Talk to them every single morning. I do conference calls with most of the sales teams at 8 a.m. in the morning. How are we doing, guys? Where are we? What's happening? And I do sales meetings once or twice a week, and I continually train people, because if you're continually training people and you're continually developing them, guess what? They're going to get better at what they do. They're going to get more effective at what they do. So don't be afraid to train. Develop yourself as the trainer. And I say, if you're not a specialist in sales, give me a call. Hi, Ivan Lee. Thanks for joining. Ivan, where you're from? We're talking about sales. Post an offer in the thread. Thank you very much indeed for joining. Risa Webster is saying, any workman need any personalized clothing, diamond design and clothing? Michelle, that's absolutely great, and that message is beautiful. Well, of course they need personalized clothing, but how do you solve their problems? Michelle, how do you solve their problems? Some people may already have workwear, and I know, Michelle, there's a guy on right now who owns a company that he's potentially looking for workwear for 45 staff. He's online right now. Now, as you know, I've been in import and export of promotional clothing, embroidery, screen printed design. You know that's one of my backgrounds. So how do you solve their problems? What's your turnaround with regard to your product, Michelle? How can you help them with coming up with something different? Do you offer a free design and quotation service for them? Would anyone like a free design and a quotation service for their corporate workwear? We specialize in polo shirts, T-shirts, and with printing. Once we've got artwork approved, we can turn the product around in 4 days. Think about the message that you're delivering there, Michelle. If we just say, does anyone want anything? It's not quite defined. Just say, my name's Michelle Webster. I run a workwear company, and at the moment we've got a special offer on polo shirts with a front left breast embroidery that are normally $14.95 per shirt. At the moment they're off at $12.95. Please do contact me. Let me see how I can help your business move forward. So selling and coaching your sales team to success. If you reach that stage when you're growing a sales team, you need to start thinking about sales managers. You need to think about your training programs. You need to be thinking about how your staff conduct themselves. You need to be thinking about KPIs, which are key performance indicators. You need to be able to manage that KPI and hitting your targets. So think for the moment about you and your target. Do you set yourself a target? Do you set yourself a target each week? I know I do. And when I don't hit my target, boy, oh boy, do I get peed off. I didn't hit my target this week. I didn't. I missed my target, what I wanted to achieve, and I was down by 25% on where I wanted to be. Do you think I'd pat myself on the back and say, Bradley, take the weekend off? No. Can I blame myself for not having the best week possible because there was other things going on that I needed to deal with other clients? No. The fact is the target was set and I missed it. And I should have hit it. And if I didn't hit it, what was I doing to make up for that target? And what am I doing now to make up for next week? Ask yourself that question. Did you hit your target this week? Did you hit it? Did you achieve exactly what you wanted to achieve? Did you hit your target? Did you have enough customers coming through the door, whether you're a dentist, whether you're a taxi cab firm? Did you hit the sales revenue you need to hit? And then count yourself. If the answer to that is yes, I hit target, fantastic. If you're saying to yourself, well, I don't have a target, why not? You've got to have a target. So think about this week coming in for Monday. Set yourself a target. Think about it now. Think about the target you want to achieve. If you're on your own working as a consultant, how much revenue do you want to bring in? Is it $2,000? Is it $3,000? $4,000? Is your target made up of the KPI called key performance indicators, which could be 1, the amount of revenue you're bringing in, 2, the amount of profitability, the GP on that revenue, 3, the number of new clients that you brought on board, 4, the number of outbound new contact calls you're making. You can set your KPI. That's what I do when I go into companies. I set a KPI, key performance indicators. And those key performance indicators could be 5 or 6 things that are key to identify whether a salesperson, a sales team, or indeed the sales department are moving forward and they're building a pipeline. Think about your pipeline. What is your pipeline? Who are you connecting with this week? Who do you need to reach out to? What is it you need to do? You must set a KPI for yourself. We've been chatting nearly 45 minutes now, give or take. Michelle saying, I can't type that fast. LOL. Bless you, Michelle. Michelle's in the UK and she owns a promotional clothing company. Website is coming soon, I understand. Michelle, always offer a good discount for a customer's first order, and my business is based on good customer service and quality products. Michelle, I've got absolutely no doubt about that, because I know you and I know you give fantastic customer service. And yes, I would personally recommend companies to try you and to give you a shot. If you read the chapter of my book, which I just sent you, Michelle, it very much talks about me getting my first client when I was involved in the promotional market and what I had to go through. Read that chapter. I've just sent it to you. And if you're watching today and you want to receive the first chapter of my book, just put a note in the comment, Bradley, please send me the first chapter of your book free. I send it to you. It's really great and engaging. It talks about sales. It talks about what you have to go through to grow your business. So I've been talking pretty fast today. This is a sales-based broadcast. We've been talking about whether or not you need a sales team, whether you need to learn to sell yourself, how do you recruit and train and retain a sales team, the culture required to inspire and motivate your team, and how to coach your team to success. Your website's running, Michelle. Get the link in the thread, my love. Get the link in the thread. Put your thread in there. Don't be afraid. Put your link up. Let's have a look. Some of us, most of us, it's work in progress. Every day we're learning and we're trying new things. This week, coming week, I want you to think about this. It's okay to sell your product or service. Now, I'm going to be thinking exactly the same thing this week in my business. In fact, I'm adding 6 or 7 new items to my shop this week. And some of them aren't cheap. They're 10 to 15,000 pounds each. But when you become an expert in your field, people will pay you. Because they're not thinking about whether something costs them £15,000 for a month's sales service. They're thinking, well, actually, if I could double my sales revenue and I could get another £20,000 business in the next month alone, let alone what that would be for the next 12 months, an extra 20 grand next month times 12 months, that's 240,000. Even at 40% GP, that's £80,000. What, and they pay me £15,000 to earn 80. So you've got to understand where you're offering value. I will increase your sales by £250,000 over the next year. I'll be with you for 1 month and then give you an ongoing support. It's going to cost you £15,000 or £16,000. It's a no-brainer when you're good at what you do, whether your product or service is whether you've got a product or if you've got a service, promote it and don't be afraid. Make sure you offer excellent customer service. Matt Allen has just joined. Hey, Matt, there's a blast from the past. How you doing, buddy? Put a link in. What are you selling, Matt? What are you up to? So don't be afraid of selling. Don't be afraid of sales. We all have to do it. We've all got to sell ourselves and our products and services, but it's the way in which you sell yourself. It's the way in which you deliver yourself. It's the way in which you come across that's ultimately going to make people decide whether or not they're attracted to you. Selling today's world is very, very different. Give value, give value, give value. Give away whatever you can as a freebie for your customers to build trust in what you're doing. Exactly what I'm doing now, what I do every weekend when I do my broadcasts. Just give as much value as you can. Then reach out to your clients. Build a relationship first before you ram everything down your throat. Today, we're just taking a little bit of a twist on that, and I'm asking you guys to, there you go. You've got a website up there, diamondddesignclothing.co.uk. No coincidence then that this is the Diamond Experience, and I'm Bradley Chapman. And Michelle Webster's got a website called the Diamond Design Clothing, which is why we're aligned and talking. That makes it's like a synergy of people coming together and getting attracted to what you do. So for this week, think about yourself. Think about selling. Don't be afraid. Put yourself out there. Set yourself a target you want to achieve. If you're working from home, think in your mind right now, this is the figure I want to go out and get as a consultant. This is the amount of programs I want to set. Set yourself a KPI. If you don't understand how to set a KPI, just send me a direct message. Say, Brad, would you do a broadcast on KPIs and how to set a key performance indicator? And you know, who's going to monitor you? Who's going to make you accountable? Well, use your wife or your husband if you're working from home. If not, and you're at work and you're already a salesperson that's experienced, then make sure you push yourself next week. Make sure you go to your target and go beyond your target. If you think that you're going to deliver 100% target, then you might come under. Aim for 125% of target, because if you miss 125%, you'll let you 100% and you'll always be ahead of the game. That's pretty much it from me today. Thank everybody for listening in. I just want to thank some of the guests that's joined us. That's Matt Allen joined us. Michelle Webster, thank you so much for joining. Let me just see if I can get if I just get the comments flowing there. Ivan Lee, thank you very much indeed for joining us. Dinesh Rayo from Australia, thank you for joining us. Who else we got there? Robert J. Moore from Canada. Robert, thank you, brother. Raj Paran joined us. Nikki Peters also joined us as well today. We also had Dimitri Mihai online. Tim Burt from America, former CBS radio advertising executive, now Tim Burt Media. We also had Kevin Turton, the dress specialist. So Kevin looks at your how you look and how you feel and how you dress in your business. Fantastic guy. Look him up. He's got a great business. Larry S. Cockrell, thank you for joining. Joe Fitzgerald. Joe, thank you for your contribution today. I really appreciate that. Really getting involved. And when you get involved, you're not afraid and you reach out. We're already working together and helping each other move forward. Lee Herring, thank you very much indeed for joining. Author Sherry, also better known as Supreet Aurora in India. Congratulations on the new book and well done. And also massive congratulations there to Mary McLean, who joined us, I think, for the first day today, and William Figueroa. Thank you for joining. So, guys, there are more just at the back of that. Umar Hussain as well. Thanks very much indeed. I'm Bradley Chapman, your Accelerated Business Growth Coach, broadcasting from the UK. It's now 4 o'clock, give or take. Thanks, guys, for watching. Please post in the comments, sell yourself, sell your services, but think about your KPI for next week. Think about what you're doing. It's okay to sell your services. Go get them, have fun, build relationships that are long-lasting, build a client over a lifetime. Have a great day, everybody. Thank you for watching. God bless you all. Take care now. Bye.